Hi, my name is Benny Lee. I'm the author of the book called Watch the Mouth. In chapter 9 of my book, I clarify a few misconceptions about food to help consumers to be more informed when shopping for food and what to put in our mouth in order to regain and maintain health. Amidst nutrition fact, ingredient lists, and misleading claims on food labels, there are 4 more health claims in food labels that we need to decipher, such as organic this, organic that, GMO, non-GMO, non-dairy, dairy-free, gluten-free. Understanding these claims, what they really mean, can help shoppers make informed choices during their next visits to the store or farmers markets. We all know when the food manufacturer claims their food is organic, they can charge you a premium, and most of us just trust what they claim. But we need to ask, first, what is organic? Second, is organic really better than non-organic? Third, are all those labeled organic really organic? Fourth, is it possible for food manufacturer to cheat and lie that their food is non-organic but claim they are organic? Is organic food worth the hype? You be the judge. Most people don't know the true meaning of organic. Some take it to mean natural, pesticide-free, or local. Others take it to mean certified to the utmost degree. Here's what it means to the United States Department of Agriculture, or USDA. Organic is a labeling term that indicates that the food or other agricultural product has been produced through approved methods that integrate cultural, biological, and mechanical practices that foster cycling of resources, promote ecological balance, and conserve biodiversity. Synthetic fertilizers, sewage sludge, irradiation, and genetic engineering may not be used. You can see the USDA's definition is rather ambiguous. So here a few highlights to help explain what those approved methods include. That radiation, sewage sludge, synthetic fertilizers, prohibited pesticides, and GMO or genetically modified organisms may not be used, but in some cases they can be used. Pesticides, if used, must derive from natural sources. However, if natural sources are not available, the synthetic pesticides can be used. These pesticides must be applied using equipment that has not been used to apply any synthetic materials for the past 3 years. The land being planted cannot be treated with synthetic materials for that period either, but the land can be next to non-organic farm. So the first red flag is that pesticide is allowed in organic food growing. This will come as a big shocker to those who buy organic foods in order to avoid harmful pesticides. If an organic farm or food producer is found to violate USDA organic standard, they can say, oops, then remove the organic claim or label or seal from the label. It is true that each of the 40 plus pesticides on the approved list are individually reviewed and approved for use, but they are still pesticides. They have been designed to do the same thing as all other pesticides out there, and there's no guarantee that they are any safer. Some of the natural chemicals used in organic farming are even carcinogenic, meaning they cause cancer. A lot of organic or natural pesticides have never been tested for safety. So please ask yourself, what is more dangerous? Consuming larger quantity of chemicals that have not been tested for safety, or consuming lesser quantity of chemicals that has been tested for safety? Then the definition also doesn't disallow organic field to be immediately next to non-organic conventional field. So cross-contamination is condoned by USDA. One must also realize USDA doesn't certify producers organic food labeling. It is the myriad private companies or accredited certifiers that do. Despite these third parties use USDA or organic shield on their labels, implying that it is the USDA who certifies. By the way, organic produce, you usually see a sticker which has a starting number 9 in the food's 5 digits PLU or price lookup code. Then there have been studies that found more than half of those labeled organic are misrepresentations by the food producers, whether the certifiers collude or not. To be honest and ethical in claiming the food is organic, the food must be free from chemicals. No herbicide, no pesticide is used in growing the food. No GMO, no additives, no natural flavors, no chemicals are added to the food. Let's take a look at the examples of organic baby carrots. Naming them baby carrots is misleading, as they are not the sprout of carrot. Rather, they come from big, damaged, odd-shaped carrots. Instead of throwing them away, they go through a machine, shoop, 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 comes out with uniform size, length, and diameter. Because the shape and cut carrots already lost their skin. To prevent them from rotting, the food producer dip them into chemicals. That's why you always see baby carrots always in plastic bags and look slimy. So the chemicals act as artificial skin as well as preservative. So it's not only misleading to name it the carrot's baby, but also misleading to claim it is organic, as the cut and shaved carrots were laced with harmful chemicals, even though the original carrot may be organically grown. The point I want to make here is, regardless whether the food is organic or not, organic food is not worth the hype. As long as we eat lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, organic or not, our body can cope with the residual toxins from herbicides and pesticides. However, our body may not be able to handle the toxins from many refined and processed foods, medicines, and supplements that we put into our mouth. I'm prefacing these facts with a disclaimer that I'm not calling organic food producer or certifier are dishonest in claiming their foods is organic, nor am I saying organic food is bad or good. I just want to encourage consumers to do their own research, make up their own minds whether organic is worth the hype, not to trust everything what the manufacturer's labels claim, be well informed to make the best decision that suits their needs. Then consumers are also misguided about GMO food. GMO stands for genetically modified organism. Besides GMO, you probably heard of GE as well. GE and GM crops refer to crops modified using genetic engineering techniques, but the terms are often used interchangeably. While the terms are often used synonymously, GE, or genetically engineered, specifically refers to the process of modifying an organism's DNA to introduce new traits or alter existing ones, while GM, genetically modified, can encompass a broader range of techniques, including genetic engineering, but also includes traditional methods of breeding and crossbreeding. When we talk about GMO food, most people will associate corn, soybeans, canola oil, etc. But a lot of people don't realize we consume more GMO foods than we realize. For example, the seedless grape, the seedless watermelon, the golden kiwi fruit, banana, etc. The banana we eat have hardly any seeds. If the banana is not genetically modified, there'll be a lot of black tiny seeds in the core of the banana flesh. By the way, kiwi fruit is native to China. The other name is called Chinese gooseberry, but in China it is called hairy monkey skin's peach. It was brought to New Zealand many years ago, genetically modified in New Zealand, and New Zealand make it world famous, hence it is called kiwi fruit. New Zealand kiwi fruit growers further genetically modify the green flesh, hairy skin kiwi fruit and make it the new variety. It's called golden kiwi fruit, which has a smoother skin, the flesh is golden yellow and tastes sweeter. Then there are gala apple and nectarines. Do you know how they are created? Crossbred or grafted from which plants? If you know the secrets and whether you think they are GMO or non-GMO, please leave us a comment. Then most chickens, cows, and farm salmons are genetically modified so they can produce more eggs, meat, and milk, grow faster, and more resistant to diseases as the animals are confined in crowded cages. Then if the chicken, cow, or salmon are not genetically modified, they are mostly fed with corn pellets from GMO corn. In any event, there is no solid evidence to prove that GMO food is harmful to our body. In fact, in my opinion, consuming lots of refined and processed foods, medicine, and supplements will do more harm to our body than eating GMO foods. The irony is, people are so afraid of GMO food, fearing it will alter their DNA, alter their genes, leading to diseases. Avoid eating fish from the ocean because of fear of mercury. Yet, they are so brave to inject synthetic drugs or inject toxins into their bodies and don't want to know that synthetic drugs has mercury compound that acts as a preservative used in vaccine can alter our DNA too. By the way, GMO food label start with number 8 in the 5 digits PLU code or price lookup code. But banana and kiwi fruit mentioned above are not considered GMO food, hence they start with number 3 or 4 in their PLU code, as they are treated as conventionally grown despite they were originally genetically modified. Now the ubiquitous gluten-free claims. When the food labels say gluten-free, it doesn't mean it is healthy, where the majority are not truly gluten-free anyway. But suffice to say, the claim is only good for celiac sufferers to know because they are allergic to gluten. A gluten-free diet is the standard treatment for celiac diseases, where celiac disease is a chronic digestive and immune disorder that damages the small intestine. Another inflammation blamed on gluten protein in wheat. This autoimmune disease is believed to be triggered by eating foods containing gluten. However, we need to remember that gluten has been around and human has been consuming gluten for thousands of years, and there's been no health issues. Only recently, in the last 2 decades, gluten become famous or evil. Is it a marketing genius or marketing gimmick to promote certain products and blaming gluten for inflammation in our intestine? I believe we are not allergic to gluten. Rather, we are allergic to many pesticides, chemicals, and preservatives in foods, medicines, and supplements. In my opinion, those chemicals cause inflammation in our body. Last but not least, the non-dairy or dairy-free claim in food labels. It implies the food is healthy and dairy food is evil. However, such claim doesn't mean the food is healthy. It is just a fad, a trend. You may notice that every few years, the food industry will blame something. Now they blame cow's milk causing you fat, unhealthy, inflammation, lactose intolerant, leaky gut, etc. By the way, what is the symptoms of lactose intolerance? Is it a coincidence that some drugs or medications cause bloated stomach, diarrhea, etc.? Check the fine prints for the negative side effects of medicines. Savvy food manufacturers aware that consumers now avoid cow's milk. That's why in their labels they claim their product is dairy-free or non-dairy. For example, oat milk. Drinking oat milk can be more harmful than drinking cow's milk because oat milk is so refined and processed, laden with chemicals, additives, added sugars, and preservatives. Hope you're now more well informed what is true meaning of organic, GMO, gluten-free, and dairy-free. So what are your thoughts? We would like to hear what you think. Please leave us a comment. Please follow and subscribe to our channel for more life-saving and life-changing inspirations. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. If you wish to read the book Watch the Mouth, the link is in the description.